In this presentation, I will explain how to correctly use semicolons and commas, why I struggle with it, and tips on how one can overcome struggles of semicolons and commas learned from the punctuation guide. A semicolon is weaker than a comma but stronger than a period. It is commonly used between two independent clauses when a coordinating conjunction is omitted. As a reminder, an independent clause is a clause that can stand alone on its own separate sentence. Use the acronym FANBOYS to remember what a coordinating conjunction is. The following example is correct because the coordinating conjunction word but is omitted. A semicolon can also be used between independent clauses, which is a complete sentence linked by a transitional expression. The example below is correct because the semicolon could be replaced with a period. In this case, the semicolon emphasizes the connection between the two clauses. The comma is used in many different ways. It can indicate a short pause, be used to separate items in a list, or separate grammatical components of a sentence. However, the meaning of a sentence can change with the absence or presence of a comma, sometimes even dramatically. You want grandma to eat with you, not eat grandma. Put the comma to a test. This comic strip suggests that you need a comma if you can put the word "and" where you think the comma is needed. Let's look at the top right examples. Brenda wore an elegant, glamorous dress. Elegant, glamorous dress makes sense, so a comma is needed because elegant and glamorous are two consecutive adjectives describing the dress. Which leads us to the next rule, where you use a comma between two or more consecutive adjectives describing the same noun. Let's try another example. Joe wore a navy blue suit. Navy is a shade of blue, which is a joint adjective. So in this case, a comma is not needed between navy blue. If you put this sentence to the test in which you would add the word "and" between the joint adjective, it would not make sense. Are you still with me? If you're not, it's okay. You are not alone. I have struggled with the use of commas and semicolons since I can remember. I feel like I overuse commas to include a short pause without understanding the general rules, which was mentioned in the previous slides. As for semicolons, I used it sparingly when I thought a period could be used, but did not feel the need to use one. I simply never understood the use for it, and I don't recall learning about semicolons, but often saw them in text. And before I move on to the next slide, I wanted to point out that the meme on the left is incorrect because of the coordinating conjunction "and" is not needed. Remember the helpful tip, acronym FANBOYS. The struggle is no longer real because of this resourceful site, the Punctuation Guide. Click on the red button located in the top right-hand corner to learn more about semicolons and commas and other punctuations. The guide is easy to navigate and it provides thorough explanations and examples and tips. You simply click on any of the punctuation you want to learn about. Here you will find a detailed explanation of the rule. You can also click on any of the following shortcuts to direct you to the specific sample, or you can also simply scroll down. As you can see, there are many other ways to use commas. Here are some helpful tips. Try reading aloud. We often read at a moderately fast pace to ourselves. Reading aloud helps indicate a pause that was most likely overlooked. Understand and follow the rules. At first, it may be difficult, but remember you are not the only one struggling with this mechanic rule. The use of acronyms is a great learning tool as well. Perhaps you can create one to help you remember a rule like FANBOYS. Also, don't forget there are many helpful sources such as the Punctuation Guide that provides great guidance and examples. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you had learned something.